Okay, we're going to simplify expressions by combining like terms, but this time we have parentheses here, okay? Now, remember the order of operations. PEMDAS. PEMDAS makes you do parentheses first. So when I look inside this parentheses, there's nothing for me to do here. I can't add anything together because they're not like terms. The next thing I look for is exponents. No exponents here to work with. The next thing I look for is multiplication. So here I have an addition between 5x plus 2, and addition between 2 and 3x minus 1, and I have a multiplication here. I have 3 times x minus 1. So I have to do multiplication first. Everything else that I'm not going to use for now, I just bring it down, okay? And also, before we do anything at all, I already know I have to do this first. Let's rewrite it first and make sure all those minuses I change into plus negative. So let's rewrite it. 5x plus 2 plus 3 times x plus negative 1. Okay, so I've rewritten this part that has a minus. And now I'm going to start doing what I said. I'm going to multiply first. So take 5x plus 2 and just bring it down because we're not going to use that right now. We're not going to add before we multiply. And then I have plus, and we have 3 times x, which is 3x. I also have 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. Now that I've done the distributive property, now I look for my like terms. So let's see. I have 5x, I have plus 3x, and those two are like terms. So 5x plus 3x's, how many x's in total? 8 x's. Remember when we add like terms, we're really adding the coefficients, the 5 and the 3. That makes 8. And then we keep the variable. So 8 x's, okay? And then what other like terms do I have? I have a plus 2 and a plus negative 3. So I have 2 plus negative 3. Different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number. That's negative 1. So this becomes plus negative 1. And that's your answer. You can't add 8x and negative 1 because they're not like terms. Let's do example 2. For example 2, I have a minus here and a minus here, so I'm going to rewrite it. I will rewrite that and change all the minuses to plus, negative, okay, plus negative 6, and p plus negative 2, okay? Once I'm done with that, now I have to multiply. I have to use the distributive property. So this becomes p plus 6 plus, and now I start multiplying. Here I have negative 6 times p, that gives you negative 6p. And then negative 6 times negative 2, that gives you positive 2, right? Plus 2. And now we look for the like terms. I have p and I have plus negative p. Remember, I always keep the operation in front of the term. So p plus negative 6p. I'm adding 2 with different signs. So different signs, subtract. P plus negative 6p, I subtract, I get 5 negative. Negative 5p. The other like terms are plus 6 and plus 2. So 6 plus 2, that makes plus 8. And here is your answer for example 2. Okay, negative 5p plus 8. For example 3, this you have to be careful with. Okay, let's rewrite the minus to plus negative. So I'm going to rewrite 8n. This minus I'm going to write as a plus negative what? When there's no number here in front of the parentheses, that means that there is a 1 here. There's a 1 hidden. You can't see it, but it's there, okay? So I changed the minus to a plus and negative 1. There's a 1 right there in front of the parentheses. And I changed this minus to plus negative 3, okay? So now what do? I do the distributive property first. So since I'm not going to use 8n yet, I'm just going to bring it down, 8n, okay? Plus, plus. And then I take negative 1 times positive n, that's negative n. And then negative 1 times negative 3, that's plus 3. Now let's look at the like terms. I have 8n plus negative n, different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number, which is 8, so this becomes 7n. And the other term that I have is a constant term, and there's no other constant in the expression for me to add this constant term with another term. So we just keep that term, plus 3. And this is the final answer. I encourage you to go back and try these on your own in your notebook, and then come back to the video and check the answer. See if you got the same thing. If you didn't, look at the procedure. Try and find where you went wrong. Okay? I'll make one more video about simplifying expressions using triangles and rectangles. Okay? So I'll see you in the next video.